Hi everyone, I'm Yolanda. Welcome to my channel. This video was originally recorded in Spanish. Today's tutorial will be different than usual. Today I'm going to do something that a lot of you have been asking. First, some of you have asked that I show my face since I've never shown my face in any of my previous videos. And second, that I show how I organize my working area. And since I promised I would, here I am. I always like to keep my promises. First, I'd like to tell you that my working area, it's about maybe 6 by 6, 6 feet by 6 feet. I don't like to use my kitchen to do my videos since I'd rather be isolated from noises and any distractions when I work. So I've divided my office and turned this into my video recording and crafts area since I also like to do crafts. Many of you have seen the table where I work and have asked me how is that I keep my area so clean and neat. Well, personally, I think it is very important that we keep our table clean and free of clutter. I like to clean up as I go. After making a cake batter, I like to clean up. After frosting a cake, I like to clean up or whatever. Because when you clean up as you go, you will see that you don't make a big mess and your area is always clean. And to organize my area, one of the things I use a lot of is shoe boxes. You could get shoe boxes from the store, or you can recycle them when you buy your shoes. To make them look pretty, you can always decoupage them or cover them with material. And I most certainly like to label my boxes, describing the content inside the box. I think that labeling your boxes is key to good organization. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of my area. Right now I'm going to turn the camera off and start showing you how I keep my stuff, okay? To the left, these 4 boxes are strictly for storing flowers and roses. These 2 were disposable diapers boxes that were given to me, and I decoupaged them with material and paper. You will never think that they were diaper boxes. And look how pretty I made them. This one here is a shoe box that I covered with material. This is full of roses and flowers. This other one, I purchased the box just like this, and I also use it for, like I said before, for flowers and roses. This one I didn't have to do anything because it is a pretty box. And I just want to show you up here, I have some boxes. They are all labeled. In there I have cookie cutters, plungers, fondant and gum paste cutters, extruders, markers, ribbon cutters, everything that I use for decorating my cakes and making my flowers and roses. I have them stored in these boxes. Okay, so here I have icing colors right here. The last 2, the first 2 are petal dust. Okay, and then the other small bottles, small jars, those are also icing colors. And again, another bags labeled with stuff in it. And the top box, this one here, I store my lace molds. And then in the corner I have 2 sets of tips. The top one, this one here, I have all my Russian tips right here in this box. And then in this other box here, also with compartments, I have big tips, which I don't use every day. That's why I have it there in that corner. And then on this shelf, I have my meringue powder, my CMC powder, edible pearls, glucose. I also have my pastry bags right here in this box, which I leave open because I don't want the plastic to take any smell. So I just leave that box open, and I know that box is only for pastry bags. And here are my fondant texturizers and my spray bottle. Sometimes I use it to smooth out the meringue. I spray some water. Okay, and then here I have all these boxes here are for Christmas cookie cutters. And down here I keep some cake dummies, especially for when I teach. Sometimes I use that. Okay, and that's all I have in this unit. And here I keep my cake lifters and my buttercream scrapers. In this corner I have 2 boxes. These boxes are for things that I don't use every day, and so I just keep them here. And then going further down, right here I have some turntables. You know, the turntables we use when icing a cake. They come very handy. And also I have some cake circles and cake boards, and that's it. So as you can see, it's not a lot that you need to be able to decorate your cakes. And if you want to cover your shelves with papers, you know, like I did, color papers and design papers, you can do that to make it pretty, to make it more lively. And so these are all my the things that I use to decorate my cakes. I don't have a lot. I do not need a lot. And so I just wanted to show you the area and how you can, even in a small space, you can keep everything neat and clean, and you can always be able to find it when you label your boxes. Now I like to show you the things that I like to keep on my table when I work. I have here a self-healing mat. It's reversible. You can use either side. And I bought this mat at Michael's here in the United States. At Michael's, you can get them perhaps in AC Moore if you live in the States, or maybe Joann Fabrics. One thing I am going to tell you is this mat should lay flat always, all the time. Never, never, ever bend it. Don't fold it, don't bend it. Always keep it flat, because if you do bend it or fold it, it's going to take that shape and you will never, ever get it back to be flat. By experience, I'm telling you, because I bought one, and when I brought it in from the store, I didn't realize that it was damaged, it was warped, and I couldn't get it to straighten out. I did everything possible, so I had to return it. So at the store, when you are going to get the mat, just make sure that all the edges are straight, that they are not warped or anything like that. These mats are self-healing. That means that You can use your rotary cutter, you can use your fondant cutter, and nothing is going to happen to the mat. Okay, the reason why I bought this mat is because it has the angles, it has the inches, the centimeters all marked, and I love that when I cut fondant or gum paste, I could use those marks as guides. So, all right, enough description for this one. Now the bottom mat that I have is a Fat Daddios mat. I use this to roll out my fondant for my cakes, and sometimes I use a mat that is a cutting mat that is by Wilton. I like this one because it's a wheel. You see the wheel, but the Fat Daddios is a non-slip mat, so it's going to stay on my table. The Wilton one is going to slip off my table all the time. It happens. So I put this one on top, the Fat Daddios on top, and I just go around and I cut my fondant. Here is also a very cheap mat, but it works great. But you cannot cut anything with a blade or anything like that on this one. This one you can fold. And in this chest is where I store the giant coupler, the 3 tips couplers, the flower nails, the nails for icing cupcakes, and also the extra wide tips. I save all that in this chest. I painted this chest in white with acrylic paint, and then I covered the inside, and that's it. Small spatulas or palette knives, a fondant cutter, all these things I use. That's why I have them on my table. And then, you know, next to it I have my acrylic organizer with the pouch for dusting, the disposable gloves. This is very important that you use your disposable gloves to prepare your cakes, especially if you're going to be selling cakes to the public. It's very important. And I have scissors, I have my rolling pin, I have in here also my foams, thick foams, thin foams, also toothpicks for scooping up the icing colors, rubber bands for tying the back or the top of the bags, of the pastry bags, a set of brushes, small rolling pin. I also have a set of ball tools right here. Okay, all the necessities that I use when I make my flowers and when I decorate the cake. Okay, so you want to have all these little gadgets around so you don't have to be going back and forth and looking for them. This is why I have all these things here. And you should always have a piece of styrofoam to dry your flowers. Okay, you should have a place where you can dry your flowers like I'm doing with these ones. And also a piece of foam, another piece of foam to work your petals right here, and a plastic sleeve to save the petals as you work. When you are not, the ones that you are not using, you save them here. You should also keep handy a set of fondant tools, okay, just like these ones here. And of course, you should always keep your decorating tips handy, okay? You don't need 2 sets, 1 is enough with the essential ones. The tips that any beginner should have are tips number 104, number 3, number 12, 67, and 21, and 18. And so these are all the things that I always keep on my table as I work. This has been all for today. Thank you for watching, and like I said, those that ask for me to make this video, I hope that you take advantage of it and you put some of the things at least into practice. I will see you back here again with another tutorial soon. Bye bye.